Spot Winnie Mays is proud to support programming on Coyote News. The Spot Winnie Mays, providing salon and spa services for men, women, and children.
Coming up on Coyote News, we'll tell you about a middle school student who's spelling his way to the nation's capital.
We'll also show you how a fish and pasta help to raise money for a cause. Coyote News starts right now.
Live from the Al Newharth Media Center, this is Coyote News.
Hello, thanks for joining us. I'm Lauren Solik.
And I'm Devin Martin. We'll get to those stories and more. But first, one high school student died and 2 others are wounded following a shooting inside a school in Maryland yesterday.
The attacker shot a boy and a girl with a handgun before he was fatally wounded during a confrontation with the school's resource officer. It's unclear whether the attacker took his own life or if he was killed by the officer's bullet. The other students were hospitalized in critical condition. Over $40,000 has been raised for the girls' medical expenses. Police are working to determine the motive, saying that a prior relationship between the shooter and the female victim as a possible cause. The suspect of the Texas serial bombing killed himself this morning from an explosion in his car. Investigators believe he was responsible for the 5 blasts in Texas that killed 2 people and seriously wounded 4. Police are warning Texas residents to not touch unexpected packages and to be cautious with stray objects because there are possible bombs still at large. Boko Haram Islamic extremists brought nearly all of the 110 girls they had kidnapped from a boarding school last month, dropping them off with a warning: don't ever put your daughters in school again. 6 girls are currently unaccounted for. The freed girls are meeting with counselors at a nearby hospital and will be quarantined and be counseled before they go back to their schools. So Carter, what was with yesterday's snow? I thought it was supposed to be the first day of spring.
Well, if only I could control the weather, Lauren. Right now it's 50 degrees outside. Yesterday was, over the next week, we'll start to see warmer temperatures with an increase in rain. Tonight will be partly cloudy with a low around 32. Tomorrow will be partly sunny with a high around 57. Thursday night will get down to about 38. For Friday, make sure you get your umbrella out because there's a 40% chance of rain with a high of 52. And you better keep those umbrellas out because the chance of rain will continue into Friday night. Looking toward your weekend forecast, the chance of rain will continue on Saturday as there's a 70% chance of precipitation. We'll drop down to 32 overnight. As for Sunday, we'll get a break from this wet weather as it will be mostly cloudy and a high of 47. And that's your Coyote weather.
The Student Government Association officially has a new executive team. Tegan McNary and Josh Anderson ran their final meeting of their term last night and swore in the newly elected president and vice president. Sophomore Josh Sorby and junior Madison Green were elected last month after a record number of votes were cast. In addition to Sorby and Green, 12 senators were also sworn in. New executive officers were nominated and confirmed. Sorby says they plan to wrap up their budget allocations and that the process should be finished by the end of the semester.
USD College Republicans and College Democrats are the face of the political debate, but each group does more than just talk politics. Both student organizations focus on bringing in leaders of their respective parties. College Republican President Jordan Hansen recently brought in gubernatorial candidate Marty Jackley.
We've done a bunch of different forums that we want to continue doing just to get an option for a conservative candidate on campus.
College Democrats President Brett Reese provides opportunities for students to experience the other side of the spectrum.
This first semester I had different candidates, Democratic candidates, come to campus, and that was open to all students.
Both organizations hope to work together in the future to provide students political outlets.
After coming in first place this Saturday at the state finals of the Scripps Spelling Bee, one 7th grader will be traveling much further than just a few towns away. Coyote News' Alex Krim says the student will be representing South Dakota in the National Spelling Bee Championship.
Students from all over South Dakota gathered in Knutson Theater on Saturday to compete in the final state round of the Scripps Spelling Bee. That will send one winning student to Washington, D.C. for a chance at the national title.
The Spelling Bee is an exciting event to be able to help sponsor. It provides students across the state of South Dakota to be able to participate in the Scripps National Spelling Bee competition. And like that, as today, we crowned our champion who will be our representative at the Washington, D.C. Spelling Bee between March 27th and June 1st of 2018 in the Washington, D.C. area.
Ryan Pressler, a 7th grader from Brandon Valley Middle School, takes a title in this competition for the 3rd year in a row. But this year, his first place is taking him all the way to nationals.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I've always wanted to go to Washington, D.C., and that's amazing that I get to do that for free now, but, well, almost for free. But, yeah, it's euphoric almost.
15 students between kindergarten and 8th grade were able to compete in this year's state competition, including 2nd runner-up Nathan Gamish and 3rd runner-up Camille Shorn. With Coyote News, I'm Alex Krim.
The National Spelling Bee Association is expecting a record number of attendees this year, competing in the last round before the Washington, D.C. finals.
After the break, we'll tell you an opportunity to sing on campus.
This is Coyote News.
Every year, fraternities and sororities hold fundraising events for their chapter. Phi Kappa Theta hosted their 9th annual Fish Fry fundraiser. Members of the Vermilion Eagles Center volunteered their building to host the event, as well as one of their cooks to prepare the meal for guests. The event was also made possible from generous donations throughout the year, including gift baskets to be used for silent auction. All of the money donated, as well as the money earned from the silent auction, go toward the Children's Miracle Network and their mission. Phi Kappa Thetas all around the country host big events every year to fundraise. Phi Kappa Theta is still accepting donations.
The Pi Beta Phi sorority used a bit of bow-tie pasta to raise money for their fundraiser. Along with getting free pasta catered by Cafe Brulee, students were also able to throw whipped cream pies at Pi Phi members.
This is for philanthropy, Read, Lead, Achieve, and it basically just like promotes and helps children literacy throughout like the United States, and it just, I like doing it because obviously it's for a great cause. Like, everyone needs to know how to read.
Pi Beta Phi's Bowtie Pasta Feed is just one of their several annual fundraising events.
Last night, students had the opportunity to show off their talents at an open mic night in the Muck Pit. The Yote Report's Nick Nelson was there.
The Union of African American Students has teamed up with CAB to bring open mic nights to the Muck Pit. Event MC Santino Lokanobi says since the team up, open mic nights have become more successful.
We came to a consensus that it would work better if we worked together and just kind of combine it so that way students could have the MCs available along with having the food and then having the space.
Both CAB and the African American Students Association are encouraging students to show their creative side.
It's just that open atmosphere of accepting what they wanted to bring to the table and acknowledging the fact that they were brave enough to grab the mic and go up there and sing in front of their peers. And it's also like a stress reliever too. Students can also come here and watch their peers and laugh and sing and clap along with it. So it's also like a way they can take a break from all the strenuous studies that they involved in.
For the Yote Report, I'm Nick Nelson.
The Union of African American Students and CAB host 2 open mic nights a semester.
Coming up, we'll tell you about Vermilion's Pool League.
This is Coyote News.
Are you interested in studying abroad? Advisors for studying abroad met in the muck pit with students to talk about their options. The advisors provide the opportunity for students to sit down and have a cup of coffee with them to discuss the advantages of studying abroad.
Studying abroad really helps students get out of their comfort zones and definitely is something that'll make them marketable for careers later on.
A lot of employers right now are looking for people with international skills. So if you can prove that you gain those skills, that you have, let's say, done an international internship, it's huge.
The next meeting for Coffee with a Study Abroad Advisor is next Wednesday, and every other Wednesday from 11 to noon in the muck pit.
And looking for a different activity to do on Wednesday nights? The Vermilion Pool League might be the activity for you.
It's a good chance to get out of the house, play with your friends, have a couple of beers, mingle with everybody else. A lot of college kids are starting to get back into it. It's been going on for 40 plus years.
Had players of all skill levels and ages.
If you're into having any fun at all and coming out and having a night free to yourself and hanging out with some good people, then I would suggest that. Even if you're not that into pool, the more you play, the better you get.
If you're interested in playing in the pool league for next year, contact Rusty Jensen at Leo's Sports Bar and Grill.
A USD student has recently made headlines, and his video has gotten more than 400,000 views after he sang the Star-Spangled Banner in the Lakota language. Now, Coyote News' Allie Boysen is joining us live from the muck with Stephen Wilson. Allie?
Thanks, Lauren. I'm here with Stephen, who has been singing the national anthem since he was a junior in high school. Stephen, what inspired you to sing the national anthem in Lakota and start learning it?
I think it was just an interest in my language and an interest in making my people proud, and it was a bet at first to try and get this song played in front of our community, and I took it up, and it led me to where I am today.
What was the initial response from your tribe and your family members?
I think it caught a lot of people off guard because it's something new and it's something really that's never been done before until just recently in the past few years, and I think everyone's really proud of me, and they've told me that they're really proud of me, and for that I'm really thankful.
Did you ever imagine that Kevin Phillips' post on Facebook would reach 480,000 views?
No, that really caught me off guard because of all the videos that have been posted, and that one to blow up was just really surprising.
Mm-hmm. So in his original post, Phillips said that he would like to see you perform this on a national stage, or even Ellen DeGeneres. Do you think that's a possibility, and how would you react to that?
I mean, anything is possible, but I mean, that would be amazing if that were to happen.
All right, thanks, Stephen. All right. If you would like to see Stephen perform live, he will be singing the national anthem at the WNIT game tomorrow night in the Sanford Coyote Sports Center. Reporting live from the muck, I'm Allie Boysen for Coyote News.
Thanks, Allie. So, Lexi, I hear the women's basketball team is playing a Big Ten opponent tomorrow.
Yes, they're playing powerhouse Michigan State. We'll also tell you about some USA athletes who received some top honors. Next in sports.
Because it's challenging, both mentally and physically.
You gotta love climbing because even when you're not climbing, you get a great view.
Climbing's great because I feel like Spider-Man.
Climbing is great, because even my nerd friends can do it.
climbing's awesome because there's always someone who has your back.
Come to the rock wall and figure out why climbing's awesome for you.
This is Coyote News.
Hello, I'm Carter Hofer. Tonight on Coyote Sports, a men's basketball player was selected for a national competition.
And I'm Lexi Peterson. The track and field opened their outdoor season. But first,
USD women's assistant basketball coach Kayla Tetschlag has been named one of the Women's Basketball Coaches Association 30 Under 30 honorees. The program recognizes 30 emerging women's basketball coaches that are all under the age of 30 at all levels of the game. Tetschlag now joins fellow assistant coach Aaron Horn as a recipient of the award. The NCAA March Madness tournament has reached the halfway point as just 16 teams remain. The tournament saw a historic first two rounds in which a 16 seed defeated a number 1 seed for the first time, and some of the biggest upsets in history took place. The Sweet 16 round will continue tomorrow night. Spring practices are now underway for the USD football team as the first practice took place at the Sanford Fieldhouse in Sioux Falls on Saturday. Practices will continue through April every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday until the annual spring game on April 20th. Golf season is also underway for both the men's and women's teams. In this week's Sport Report, Caitlin Ryan spoke to senior Abby Dufresne about balancing school and golf.
Being an athlete, traveling happens more often than not, which can make keeping up with schoolwork more challenging, but golfer Abby Dufresne has learned how to handle the pressure.
Yeah, I definitely kind of noticed my 4 years. You definitely have got to learn to be very organized, very driven, determined, and I think that actually kind of helps you, I think, especially in the long run, especially when you're out starting to look for jobs and depending on what you want to do in life, I think especially bosses and your future employers are going to want to look to see that you are a driven student athlete, and I think that makes a huge difference for us.
Before classes, the golf team practices inside the dome as winter comes to an end.
Patiently awaiting the warm spring weather, the women's golf team continues to travel in hope for a hole-in-one.
We say it's always 75 and sunny in the dome, so that's kind of nice to really be able to work really kind of good hours on your game and especially what you want to work on. Me individually, I think I'm just working towards being consistent. I think that's kind of like the main thing I've been working on all year, and I think I've seen it, especially this spring for myself, which is awesome. I think as a team-wise, I could not be more excited where we're at.
Between different tournaments, the golf team has had many opportunities to show off and perfect their skills.
I think we are improving every single tournament. We came back from Dallas and did a really great job there, so that's extremely exciting to see, and I think we're all just kind of getting anxious and excited for conference in a couple of, probably like 3 weeks, so it's pretty fun.
For the Sports Report, I'm Caitlin Ryan.
The women's team competes this weekend in Sedona, Arizona.
This week, 3 Coyotes earned Summit Indoor Athlete of the Year award, while 2 more earned Summit League Weekly awards. In track and field, Shanice Canigan, Chris Nielsen, and Helen Faldo were named Summit League Indoor Track and Field Athletes of the Year. The trio set several records throughout the season and competed last week at the NCAA Indoor Championships. Nielsen now holds the honor for the 2nd straight year, while Canigan became the first Coyote to earn the award for the women's indoor track and field. In softball, Jessica Rogers earned the award for the 2nd time this season after her performance at the Tiger Classic in Memphis Saturday. Rogers went 4 for 7 at the plate with 3 home runs and 7 RBIs, leading the Coyotes to a 2-1 on the weekend. In tennis, Yana Lazarevich also claimed the honor for the 2nd time this season. Lazarevich helped the Coyotes to a 2-0 record over Oral Roberts and Western Illinois, while also winning both her singles and doubles matches in the #1 spot. For the 2nd year in a row, USD will be represented at the State Farm College Slam Dunk and 3-Point Championships. Senior men's basketball player Carlton Hurst has been selected for the Slam Dunk roster. Hurst is one of only 8 players selected for the event Thursday, which recognizes the nation's top slam dunk performer. Hurst missed 13 games due to injury this season, but was able to come back for the final 4 games of the season. Hurst averaged 16.3 points and 4.2 rebounds per game. The event will air live on ESPN2 from San Antonio.
The women's basketball team continued to succeed in their postseason action as they defeated Colorado State with ease, 74-49 in the 2nd round of the WNIT tournament on Sunday. The women now move on to the 3rd round of the tournament they won just 2 years ago. The Coyotes will take on Michigan State tomorrow night at 7 in their first ever meeting in women's basketball. Senior Kate Liveringhouse will also set a USD record for career games played with 138, once she takes the court. This marks the third straight season this record has been broken.
The Coyotes track and field team found success at the Badley-Casio Invitational in their outdoor season opener Saturday. Several school records were broke on the way to 3 athletes bringing home gold. Joe Reagan claimed gold in the long jump after jumping 24 feet and 8.5 inches on the first attempt. The jump was enough to move into third in the USD history and ties Reagan for the NCAA lead on the opening weekend. Chris Nielsen and Helen Faldo both won gold in their first event since competing in the NCAA Indoor Championships. Laura Bowman broke the school record in hammer throw by over 3 feet to kick off her regular season, while Ben Hammer also posted a record-setting start after launching the discus 184 feet 7 inches, placing second in school history. The Coyotes' next meet will be next Thursday in Austin, Texas.
Men's golf was back in action this week, placing 4th at the Twin Oaks Intercollegiate hosted by Missouri State. Matt Tolan and Scott Feutenberg led the Coyotes throughout the tournament with 217 and 218 strokes respectively. Tolan placed 12th overall, while Feutenberg followed right behind at 14th. Tate Arns also finished 31st for the Coyotes, with Tommy Vining trailing behind at 35th. The next tournament for the Coyotes will be back in Missouri at the Missouri Tiger Invitational, April 9th and 10th.
USD is getting a women's triathlon team this fall, and the head coach is working to recruit new members. Now, Coyote News' Whitney Fowkes is live from the muck with head coach Kyle Joplin. Whitney?
Thanks, Lexi. Kyle was hired at the beginning of this semester and is currently working on building the triathlon program. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
So, what was your reaction after finding out you had been chosen for the new triathlon coach?
Extremely excited. I've been coaching triathlon for the past few years now at the NCAA level, but was very excited to get to a D1 school with a very supportive school and athletic staff, so I was happy to be here.
And since this is our first year with the team, how do you recruit athletes, and how many members does a triathlon team normally have?
So for this coming year, we're trying to get 8. We're recruiting freshmen, but we're also recruiting some postgrads, or kids that are finishing their undergraduate degree. In triathlon, if you switch sports, you get a 5th year of eligibility. So we're trying to look for girls that possibly just finishing their swim career, their running career in college. And so we're going to have kind of a mix on our team, not just all incoming freshmen.
And what goals do you have for the team for their first season?
Win. So we're going to be one of 25 schools in the country next year to have a team, and one of 4 Division I schools. We would like to be at the upper end of schools in general, even though it's our first year and several schools have a head start on us as far as number of athletes they're going to have and experience they're going to have. But I believe we're putting together a pretty competitive team here, and so go and be competitive, go and win.
And how's the process of being involved with the new sport been going?
So far, so good. This is actually my second program to start. The last school I was at, I also started the tri-team there. So I'm pretty familiar with how to get things off the ground and start it up. It's been a very quick process here. The athletic staff in general has been very supportive and able to move things forward quickly. So that's been very nice.
Thanks, Kyle.
Yeah, thank you.
After filling his roster, Kyle begins on practicing for the triathlon this next year, mid-March. Live from the muck for Coyote News, I'm Whitney Fowkes.
Thanks, Whitney. Coming up, we asked students who they'd like to have dinner with. Their answers next.
This is Coyote News.
There's a lot of very famous and influential people in the world.
And we asked students if they could have dinner with anyone in the world, dead or alive, who'd it be and why?
That's tough, honestly. I want to think about it for a little while.
Donald Trump, because he is the president of the United States.
My grandma, because I haven't seen her in a while, so.
Oprah. Oh my gosh, I love Oprah. She's amazing.
I would say Zac Efron, because High School Musical was really impactful to me.
Robin Williams, because I've been listening to a lot of his stand-up lately, and he just cusses like a trucker.
My mom, because she's a good cook.
Michael Jordan, because he's freaking awesome at basketball.
I would say my friends from California, because I miss them a lot, and it's been a while.
Thomas Jefferson, because he's my favorite president.
Abraham Lincoln, because he's the one who had changed the politics of America.
I would eat with my great-grandfather because he had a lot of cool stories about World War II.
Steve Irwin, crocodile hunter, because I'm sure he has some crazy stories to tell.
I would have dinner with Jesus Christ and ask him, what is the meaning of life? Why am I here? Why do I work at Qdoba?
I think I'd want to have dinner with Michael Jackson so he can show me some of his dance moves.
I would probably say Steve Nash because I'm a big basketball fan.
And I would say Prince, because I definitely love his music. And be sure to pick up a new issue of The Volant out today, featuring a story about Africa Night and the TEDx event.
That's all for Coyote News. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
And be sure to watch and listen for Coyote News daily updates throughout the week on KAOR and on the Coyote News social media pages.
Thank you and have a great night.